Alright everyone, welcome back to Genshin Impact. We are now in version 6.5 or Luna 6. And with this patch is a new boss, a new region, and of course a cute new character by the name of Linnea. And this boss fight is required for you to raise her in case you do pull her. And it's actually all the way to the top left corner here. I'm going to overlay where it actually is because I haven't unlocked the actual area yet. But if you go to the statue of the 7 down here, expect to be kidnapped for just a few minutes, but honestly you should be fine. For me, I took the right path and just kind of used Chaska to fly up and down along with the new like birds mechanic thingamajiggies. So getting here is relatively easy, especially when you can't miss the massive hole in the ground because I doubt you'll be able to miss this. So once you dive down here, you'll see this weird structure in which that you might have seen in the beginning of the game when the siblings flew in and all that. And then when you get into here, like some random dude will spawn in, like random kid, and there's the boss fight. So with this boss, it might seem a bit overwhelming at first because the tip it gives you is like all like, you'll track the number of pyro, hydro, electro, cryo, or it'll take 3 instances of damage, and then no element monitored, this monitored, more instances of elemental damage must be dealt before it get monitored again, and then break all elemental stars. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. What it really means is that it'll absorb whatever element you throw at it, and then it will create a DPS phase based on that element that you gave it. And it can be upwards of 2. And this is why I'm choosing these 4 characters here, because it'll make my life a lot easier. So we're not actually using Geo Traveler this time, big surprise. So instead, we're going to be using Lynette with 1 N. We're going to be using the Flusandra Ferryman, the Fontaine Fishable Sword, the VV set on her 4-piece. Amber is going to be using the Stringless, which I believe you can get for free, but if not, just use whatever bow you have. She is purely here to fulfill the double pyro requirement here you have with Xiangling, and Noblesse Oblige on her. Barbara is here for the mechanics, so she is using Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers alongside Ocean Hued Clam because it is cute. And Xiangling here with her Kitane Cross Spear and Emblem of Severed Fate. It's been like this for 4 years now. So let's begin. That's all there is to it. Alright, so when you walk up, he'll come out of Asmodee's left pocket, and then if you're a little far, he'll kind of just grab you. It doesn't actually do any damage to you or anything, so it just kind of annoys you. And then the one thing that you should watch out for is this spear attack, because it might be a little fast for you to react to. It comes a bit sooner than you think. And when you see him spin the little thing right here, that's the absorption phase, at least the first one. So 1, 2, and 3. You can see I did 3 splash with Barbara, and you can see the tip here, it said 3 instances of damage from any element, specifically Pyro, Hydro, Electro, or Cryo. It won't absorb it if you use Geo Anemo, so just be aware of that. And from here, he's going to be absorbed with whatever element that you gave him, so I can actually melt his head real quick. Oh, well, the infusion left already, but he is pretty slow and clunky otherwise. He's very easy to dodge, and generally speaking, he's kind of a pushover. You just have to kind of abuse his mechanics. So here he spins this thing again, and because I want him to absorb Hydro again, I have to do more instances of damage here with Hydro, but it's not a huge deal. So now he'll go into the middle here, and I'm just going to use Xiangling because I made 2 pillars of Pyro, which is like very ideal, because I'll just melt these 2, or vaporize these 2, pretty easy, and then give myself a DPS phase here. Very easy. Stab. I'm just gonna hit him a couple times. And literally rinse and repeat. That is the entire boss fight. I'm not even joking. He won't do anything other than if you fail the DPS check, but let's just see what happens if I try to absorb 2 different elements. So you can see here, he tried to stab me. Oh wow, scary. And then, careful by the way, the spin attack does hit you, but I'm just gonna use Barbara first. So he'll absorb Hydro first. There we go. And now he'll absorb both Hydro and Pyro. And this has caused a problem because now you can see that this one's immune to Pyro and this one is immune to Hydro. So you have to bring another element or some brute force element. And you can see on the top here this gauge filling up. It just shows how long you have until you fail the DPS phase, which honestly isn't a huge punishment. Watch this. So once this happens, you just run out of the AoE, And that's it. That's all you do. Just dodge out of it. Or you can even iframe them, to be honest, and keep hitting him, but, you know, keep it as simple as possible, right? And he will not absorb something like Anemo or Geo, like I said, and I will exemplify that right now. So you can see here, if I try to hit him with Linnea, it doesn't do anything. So I need to use something that can be absorbed, like Hydro. And this time it's going to be a lot more painful because I'm not going to be holding back. So here we go. Bring out the Baron bunnies. That hurt, didn't it? Ooh, that actually hurt me. To the middle he goes. And there he goes. So you could do this a multitude of ways. You could brute force it with Geo if you really wanted to, but ideally you would bring like 2 to 3 elements. So I could replace Linnea with Lisa, for example, and during that DPS phase, I could not only have Amber and Xiangling vaporizing the hell out of the Hydro Pillars, but I could also have Lisa there helping with Overload, or perhaps Electrocution. So really, this boss is just kind of a exercise in creativity. It's not difficult at all, and it shouldn't pose any issues. Although I do worry for Stygian Onslaught, maybe it has some weird mechanic where it'll do really fast absorption phases, or perhaps the pillars have a lot more HP or something like that. But otherwise, at least for the overworld, and most likely for Abyss, it's not very difficult at all. And you can do it pretty much in 30 seconds, if not quicker, because it takes so long for the DPS phases to come anyway. I can imagine some guy going in the comments right now typing, well, I'm just going to nuke it with Malika, and he's correct. You can totally do that. So, for now, that's all there is for this boss. If you need a shorts guide, or if you came from the shorts guide, welcome. But otherwise, pretty short guide, and good luck on your Linnea pulls. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. Alright. That was sick.